Welcome to the new Haitian generation. I am Labissiere, your host for today. I want to introduce to you my guest this morning. I'm telling you, her name is Merline Labissiere from Project Runway. I mean, I basically grew up with her, and I have so much questions for her today. So I want you to tune in and just share this time that we're about to spend together, okay? So Merline, welcome to the new Haitian Generation show. My goodness.
I'm super excited to be here. I can't believe you're the host. I'm like so pumped up for you. I'm like so excited.
When I received the call, I was like, hold up, you guys want me to host a show? So
you're perfect for it.
Really? So I truly thank God for the opportunity. Aww. It's been so long.
I know.
Since we have seen each other.
Yeah, it's been like forever.
Many people don't know that we went to the same church.
Oh yeah.
And we did a project together back in the days where we basically saw each other every week.
Yeah. We were. It's crazy. I didn't realize it, and when I look back, we were so active.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were doing plays. We were doing theater. We were starting poetry because we were like almost first generation, you know.
Yes.
And our Haitian parents didn't know what we were doing, but we loved the art so much. And so looking back, it's so cool to see how far we have come. You know.
Well, when you say that, I have so much questions for you because this show is so relevant to our culture and our generation because they need to see the people in front of them. How did you get to where you are?
Yeah.
So when I saw you on television, I was like, I know her. People was like, nah, no, you don't. And I had to show them the tape. I'm like, this is Merline. This is Merline. We hung out together. So before we even get to the Project Runway experience, I want to get to know, and I want you to share with the viewers. Tell us a little bit about your background, your upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, tell us where you were born and what was your childhood like?
So my parents are from Haiti.
Okay.
English is my second language. I had to go to Esau. When I tell people that, they're like, you were born in Miami. I was like, my parents came from Haiti. You know what I mean? And so I had to go to Esau, and it was like a first generation. And so my parents are not really into the art. And I remember begging my mom, like, hey, I just want to start crocheting, you know, at school. You know, that was kind of the experience. And so my mom has 6 kids, my mom and my dad. And so it's really just growing up. And the crazy thing is, I knew I was different, you know what I mean? Because all the American kids was wearing Nike. I didn't even know what Nike was because we were going to the thrift store.
We was wearing Payless.
The thrift store is so cool now, but growing up, that's all we could afford, right? Thrift store. And so we just did that a lot. And then I just knew we were different, you know, going to school and how our parents, my mom would send me to school with my hair, you know, those braid with the bulgogo and the ribbons and the church dress. She sent me like that. And so the kids were teasing, you know, and so I grew up in that environment. And the cool thing about growing up is my mom found a Haitian church that we can grow up. Because if you talk to any Haitian kids, it's l'école.
L'église, la caille.
La caille.
So were you born in Haiti?
No, I was born here.
So
that's the crazy thing. Yeah.
But the environment was
all Haitian.
That's what I'm talking about.
All Haitians and Cuban. I live like literally across the street from Santa Clara. And it's crazy. When I go back, I'm like, I look at the house and I'm like, oh. But I grew up in the Haitian and the Cuban community. And no one spoke English. And we were just kids, you know. And then from there, I went to Santa Clara. I went to Alapata. I got to go to Central, you know. And I actually, in Miami, I got to go to Miami-Dade College where I got an architecture background.
Yeah, I actually went to Miami-Dade College
Really?
myself.
What was your major?
Communication.
Oh, wow.
Communication.
Wow.
So how has the Haitian culture has been passed down through your parents to you?
Oh, yeah. It's the first thing I knew, you know what I mean? The culture has like really influenced me, one, in how I love color. You know what I mean? And everything that I design, I love bright colors. I'm not afraid. When you meet a lot of...
We could tell by the design.
Yeah, this is my collection. What I love about it is I love exploring colors. I love what the Haitian culture has given me. You know, it's crazy sometimes, like, to this day, I'll translate certain things in my mind, you know, and my parents still don't speak English fluently. And so there's always a dialect. And I feel like it's so grained into me, the work ethic. Like when my mom came here, I remember going with my mom in a bus. So back in the days, a bus would pick you up in Little Haiti, and you would go to South Carolina, and you would go on the farm.
Oh.
And you would pick up corn. And then I totally remember every box is $2.50.
Wow.
And my mom is a hard worker, and she can go fast. And she would take us. She took me. She took my brother.
Hold up. So you experienced that?
I went with her.
With your mom?
Yes. And when I tell people that, they're like, "Is this slavery time?" I'm like, "No, this is the 80s."
This is the 80s.
This is the 80s. Isn't that insane? It's the 80s, and I don't know if it still happened today, but it was huge where you would go on farms and you would pick, and they would give you cash, and that's how my mom brought my brother from Haiti, and that's how our parents put us through school.
My mom did that, but I didn't go with her. See, this is why I like this show.
Yeah.
Because the younger generation need to understand, even though you have a vision, even though you have a calling, even though you have a purpose, even though you have an assignment, you're going to have to work through it.
That's good, yeah.
See, they see Merline on Project Runway. They see you with Tyra in Hollywood doing all this thing, but they don't know that you actually with your mom on a bus went to South Carolina to pick peas and corn.
To pick peas, corns.
This is incredible.
Yeah, it's so cool because I learned what working hard is.
Yes.
Like, one thing I love about being a first generation is nothing was given to us.
Yeah.
Literally. We had to work hard. And you know what's so cool? We saw our parents work so hard that we would tell ourselves, we're going to give a better life for our kids. You know what I mean? And so that's why I love our story. I love first generation stories, you know, because it gives you have a different drive than someone that was automatically born 3 generations from now, 4 generations from now.
So that's one of the reasons why when you see the first generation or the second generation Haitian working so hard, it's because they know where they come from.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go back there.
That is so true. You know what's so crazy? So my grandmother came from Lazille, and she lives like in the middle of nowhere. And seeing her in America really took me back because by my mom coming here from Haiti, she jumped generations of wealth for me to be successful. And to me, that like a little house in Haiti, you know, walking barefoot, and then my mom coming here on a boat, and then me having the life that I have. To me, it blows my mind. You know, we don't see how my mom taking that trip, how she's blessed this next generation. I always tell my mom this. So my mom looks at me, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you entrepreneur. I don't know what you do with your life." Because you know, entrepreneur, we're not stable sometimes financially. But I tell my mom, you took the biggest risk. You left your country, you don't speak the language, got on a boat to come to America. It's like me going to China, I don't know Mandarin, and then just culture. Like, that's pretty big. And so I think our parents took the biggest risk coming here to America than, because if this doesn't work out, I can go work at Walmart and be very successful.
And that leads us to the next question.
Yeah.
Most parents, when they come from Haiti, the main thing they want their kids to have is an education.
Yeah.
Tell us about your educational background.
Yeah, so my mom didn't have opportunity to go to school. You know what I mean? My mom always, you know, that's one of her regrets. You know, my mom, she can't read or write. You know, all her parents put all the other siblings but her. And so she made sure that every kid went to school.
Wow.
So for me, I got an associate's in architecture. I went to SCAD and got a bachelor's degree in fashion. And all my siblings, the same thing. My sister's getting a PhD. My other sister, like, education is so big. For her, when we graduate, we just give her the cap and the degree. It's not ours, and she has it on the wall because for her, she knew, because when you come from Haiti and you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of opportunity, she knew the value of money. Because let me tell you something, someone can take tomorrow, my clothesline might not work, but when you have knowledge and skills and a degree, it takes you further than you could ever imagine.
So I'm sure your parents are just excited. Because the sacrifice they made, now they see all of their kids actually having an education. So when you talked about having an education in art, explain to us your love for art. How did that start?
So I remember growing up, and I think I said it before, where I went to Alapata Middle, and this lady was crocheting, and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I asked my mom to stay after school, and she let me stay. And then from there, I didn't realize how being involved in church could like really push your career, because church is the only place where if you can't sing, they'll let you sing. Right? Don't let you sing. I remember going to we grew up at Bethel Baptist Church. Yes. They let me do plays. That's how I started doing set design theater, right? I did costume theater there, and we were doing everything from scratch. And I love the fact that we just jumped in, you know, and if the church needed curtains, I was there. I would sew them some curtains. And so I was in a drama ministry.
Wow.
And I feel like being in the art for me has led me to what I'm doing right now, right? And so sometimes as a kid, you feel like, man, I did this, but I feel like they're all platforms for what I'm doing right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
You talked about having your own design. So you actually wearing your own design right now. Come on, you guys got to take a look at this. This is you designed this.
Yes.
And people actually can order this. So and we'll put some of your information later on the show. But for me, your biggest this is for me. Your biggest platform was in Project Runway.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Okay, this is crazy. So when you grow up in a Haitian community and you're really creative, everyone's like, "You amazing." I'm like, "Yes." So I remember in 2007. Project Runway came at Bloomingdale's, downtown Miami. And at that time, I was like, I'm not going to do any reality stuff. And I don't know how I found out, but I actually went there. And I stayed in line. I was the fourth person. Gretchen was my model.
Really?
Yes, she was my model. She had my dress on. And this is it, guys. You think you're amazing. You know, your church people think you're amazing. And then you're in line with thousands of people. That's amazing. And so I'm like number 4, number 6 in line. And I start seeing everybody after me. And I'm like, oh, they're killing it. And I got to meet Tim Gunn. And Tim Gunn, you know, I did the whole thing. And they were like, at that time, I didn't even know how to sew. I was a self-taughter. I didn't know what a pattern was. I knew how to sew, but I didn't know what a pattern was. I didn't know how to do all the technical. I was just doing it. And then from there, I was like, okay, I'm going to school. And so that's when I applied for SCAD. SCAD at that time was the only school that had architecture and fashion.
Wow. So you saw what you needed.
I needed.
And then you actually went. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
See, so, I wanted to point that out.
Yeah. And so I was like, I really want this. I want to get, you just want to get better, but sometimes you don't know where. And so I ended up going to school. I went to Savannah, Georgia, right? And then I graduated college. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, I got my portfolio. So I sent in my portfolio. This is the second time I'm applying for Project Runway. So I sent in my portfolio and I'm like, I'm good. So I get in, they love everything, right? And then they're like, we're going to call you. And so I got that phone call in Atlanta after my audition. They're like, we love you. We love your personality, but your craft is still not good. And I'm like, oh man. Okay. Cried for like 2 days, got back up. Right? Because that's like your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And then the last one was 2000, I forgot where, 2000 and I believe it was 14. And this time I didn't care. This time I was being a business entrepreneur full time, and I just needed feedback. When you leave school, there's no one looking at your work saying, this is good, this is awful. People just don't buy from you, you know? And so I was like, I want to go to Project Runway to get feedback. And so I went to that audition.
So this is your third audition?
This is the third audition.
So people need to know that.
Yes.
Because when we saw you, we're like, that's Merline, she's doing her big thing, but they don't know that it took you 3 times.
Yeah.
So tell us about the third time.
The third time, I had a pop-up shop a week before, and it bombed. And I will never forget it. Mary, one of my studio friends, was like, think about it like this. People about to walk in, just tell everyone this is your sample cell and give us feedback. So everyone left me a jar of feedback. I get an email right after that pop-up shop saying, you were semi-finalist for Project Runway. Your audition is in the end of the week. I took that feedback and I redid all the clothes for the audition.
Oh.
Slept on the floor, woke up. I was in Savannah, drove to Atlanta, and I was like, I just needed feedback. I didn't care if I was going to be on. I needed feedback. And so I got to the audition, and they were like, I love what you're doing, but if you do this, you'll be amazing. I was like, you know what? Thank you. They're like, I was like, see you next year, because I was just so hungry for the feedback. And I think the producers saw how hungry I was for the feedback. They gave me a maybe, the producers gave me a yes.
Oh, wow.
So that was super cool to see. They were like, come to next. I was like, okay. And you know me, I could talk all, I talk for like an hour on camera, and they're like, we might call you. I was like, oh, if not, see you next year. And then I get the phone call that I'm going to be on Project Runway. You know, my parents lost their mind. Oh, petite, moi, la télévision.
So you got in, and how many seasons were you on Project Runway?
So I was on Project Runway's season 14. Yeah, that's what it is, on 2015. And then I went back to All Stars.
Oh.
2000, I believe, 7 or something like that. I mean, 2000, it's like 4 years ago. Everything goes by so
So
fast.
you did so well, they brought you back in.
Yeah, they brought me back. Yeah, that was so cool.
So you had to meet, tell me some of the stars that you met. Come on now, tell me.
Okay, Whoopi Goldberg came.
Really?
And I love Whoopi Goldberg because Whoopi Goldberg talked at my graduation. So when I saw Whoopi Goldberg, I was like, the third time, I'm gonna be sitting at the view like, hey, Whoopi Goldberg.
You're already imagining yourself at the view. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But yeah, I got to meet Whoopi Goldberg. I got to meet a lot of amazing people.
Tyra Banks?
No, family. Actually, it's Heidi Klum.
Okay.
And then they had all these amazing guests come in. And,
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Wow. So from that, we noticed that you also have a project in the city.
Yes.
Because we know about you that you like to give back. Because that experience could actually change a life.
Yeah.
So tell us about your inner city project.
So I started a nonprofit because I went on a mission trip with my church years ago. I went to Poland, and I was in the inner city, just like they let me.
You went to Poland?
I went to Poland. Yeah, I was exotic there, by the way.
Wow.
But I got to go to Poland on a mission trip, and I just love how they gave back. And that company Poem, they let me do that. I was like, "Can I teach fashion?" It's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh." So when I got back to Savannah, I was like, God really convicted me. God was like, "So you'll go miles away in the inner city, and people in our own inner city, we're not doing anything about it." And so I started my nonprofit in Savannah, Georgia. I'm located now in Miami, Florida. And so my passion is like, I want to give back to those that can afford to go to big colleges like I did, right? Yeah. And so I had the opportunity to go to SCAD and had scholarships, and I paid it through, I worked through college. And so there's so many kids in our inner city that don't give back. And I'm really passionate about, so this is what I'm passionate about. I feel that if you have made it and all the skills you have, I think we should go back and empower the next generation. Sometimes we just keep it for our own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I started this nonprofit, and I got a company, brothers, to donated sewing machines.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw the girls with the sewing machines.
Sewing machines. And then they're learning like what I've learned in college. They learn how to sketch. I got light boxes to teach them how to sketch. And the cool thing about it is at the end, they have to do their own fashion show. So a lot of the kids, like when I walk into inner city, they don't believe in themselves. So I'll come in and be like, "Oh, we're gonna have a fashion show." They'll be like, Miss Merline. For real, they don't believe me until the last day when their parents is sitting in the audience and the models have their clothes, and everyone's like, and I get chills. I could do Project Runway, I could do all these amazing stuff, but I always get chills when I see my students' work coming down the runway, and I'm like,
that's good.
You know what I mean? And so that's one thing that I'm really passionate about. It's like giving back and reaching to those that, because we were there.
Yeah.
We were there.
And that's really why I like this show, the new Haitian generation. It gives back.
Yeah.
I think I went to school one time, and one of the students said, "I remember seeing you on Xfinity on this new Haitian generation, and because of you having the book and doing that, it pushes me to do." See, the Haitian generation, many of them don't believe that they could do it because they're not exposed to it.
It's good.
There are so many things you were exposed to. There's so many things I've been exposed to because I travel so much, even when I was playing basketball. Yeah. So when I come back, see, when you are exposed to certain things, when you come back,
you're not the same.
You don't think
you're not the same. Yeah.
I could tell you right now, I went to the summer league, the NBA summer league, and to see all those players there and just to play at that level. When I came back home, and nobody could have stopped me because I've seen something different. Yeah. So it is very vital and important for us that has made it in life. We could say that we have made it in life to show the next generation, hey, this is the process. Yeah. Because the next generation, they always think that, if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. It's just going to happen for you. The microwave mindset. No, you're going to have to go through something.
And the one thing I love about this show is, one thing our parents did so well, they love telling stories. Yeah. Right? They love telling where they came from, how they came from, when they were walking with one shoes, And so it's so true. And so that's why I love shows like this where we can tell that story. It's almost like we're passing in a legacy down,
Yeah. So I would like to ask you some more questions about what is the biggest challenge for you now?
Ooh. So the biggest thing I've learned that has really impacted my life is learning how to work smart. I know how to work hard, but I had to learn how to work smart. And so I got burnt out a while back, because I was hustling. Miami, everybody's hustling. Everybody got 5 jobs. Everybody's hustling, and no one's resting. And so there's a lot of things that I've learned that has really impacted me. So working smart mean finding a manufacturing company that can manufacture this. I used to have a studio in Little Haiti, because it's really gentrified now, right on 7th Ave and like 56th Street at the corner. I used to have a studio. I used to be sewing all night. That's not working smart.
No.
Now I design and I send it to the factory, or I find a lady in Miami that can sew and do like a seamstress and sew it for me. So I've been learning how to work smart so that I know that I have self. See, our parents' generation, they work. They don't, you know what I mean? They hustle until they die. And so I've adopted that. But when you're burnt out and you can't work anymore, you start to reevaluate your house. So a lot of the things that I implement is, because I love Jesus, I take a Sabbath. That Sunday, you can't call me. I'm at the beach. I'm at South Beach, getting my tan on, really, Yeah. And so things like that, and knowing like working 8 to 9 hour shift and walking away. Because when you're self-employed, there's so much pressure of overworking and not taking care of your soul and not taking care of your body.
So you mentioned that you design. So basically what we are seeing right now, you basically sketched it?
Yes, I sketch it. Yeah, I sketch it. I all this is custom print. And then I found a factory that can manufacture this for me.
Wow.
And then they also help me ship it to the clients. And so that is working smart. I can focus on being a designer, being an entrepreneur, and still making money at the same time.
But last time I went to some of your sites, I've noticed that you was creating dresses, even wedding dresses for stars and big time and all of that. So I want the people to know that if, let's say they want their own design for a wedding, you could design that dress.
Yeah, I have a bridal line also.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
yes.
I have a bridal line also, and I'm super lucky that I get to design it. I do custom garment for some clients that just want custom bridal.
Yes.
And working smart for me is, partnering up with amazing seamstress that can execute it, and then I design it.
Wow.
And so it took me a long time to get where I am right now, because I had a studio, I was working, I didn't see the sun, you know what I mean? And so you can work all day and hustle and not like take care of your mind. And so it's really important to me that I'm in the Word of God. I'm taking my Sabbath. I'm at the park. I'm biking. You would have thought I'm a tourist on South Beach. I'm enjoying South Beach, because when you live in Miami, you're barely at South Beach.
Wow. So I want the viewers to understand, if you are watching and you thinking about getting married and you want a custom custom dress. So we're gonna leave Merline information on the screen at the end. I mean, I've seen some of her work. It is just amazing. So as we're about to close with our New Haitian Generation show, what advice would you give to Haitian Americans today?
So one thing I would say is work smart, because I've said that. Take care of your soul. There's no point for us to get all this success and you dying mentally, spiritually. So I think that's really important. And one thing is, this is not a microwave society.
Yes.
Success. So every success that you see on TV, that person worked hard to get there. I know we do live in an Instagram and the YouTube era, but even that, people are they were posting videos before they even went viral. You know what I mean? So sometimes we think, and one thing I want to encourage the next generation is, just because you post a dress or artwork and you got 2 likes, that doesn't mean you stop posting. Because you are not validated by a like. Because sometimes we're validated by people clapping. And especially when you're in an industry like I am, when you're having fashion shows and people are clapping and you're like, oh, you're amazing. Sometimes when you don't hear that, you start to say, am I not good enough?
Yeah.
So for me, I got to make sure that I'm not validated by what people are saying, and that goes back to the soul. For me, I'm validated by what Christ did for me on the cross. I'm not validated by those claps.
That's good.
And so that makes me wake up every day and work hard, whether someone liked that video, whether I'm on TikTok and no one saw my video, I still gotta hustle because I'm not validated by people clapping and like. So I think that's one thing, because we live in a generation of social media, and sometimes something that's beautiful as social media could be almost a hinder for some
That's
people.
good. I have 2 more questions for you, because I think we have about 3 minutes left. Why is it important to have this program, this New Haitian Generation for this community? Why is this so important for this generation?
Yeah. So number one, the Haitian culture sometimes is not seen in a great light. You know, a lot of times they want to show the Haitian culture is always like a kid with a fly on his head, but it's such a beautiful culture, and people are doing amazing things. Like, so I think that needs to showcase, that there's so many Haitian Americans that started from nothing.
That's good.
And they are making it happen every day. And so I think a show like this will expose that. And not just that, it'll show the next generation that I could do it.
Yeah. I think when they see you. Because a kid can only function by what they see.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful that I was able to do this show with you.
Oh.
Now, if the people wanted to contact you, or how would they be able to do that?
Yeah. So if you go to Merline Labissiere Official, you'll see my design firm, you'll see my nonprofit, you'll see the bridal collection. Everything that I do is right there. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And say hi. My email address is on the website. Just stop by and say, hey, Merline, I saw you. Say hi. I'll reply, because I love connecting with people and hearing their stories.
So give us their website again.
MerlineLabissiereofficial.com.
MerlineLabissiereofficial.com.
Because it's official, right?
So what does the future hold for you?
I'm super excited to expand my line. Hopefully my line can start doing wholesale in the big box stores. I'm like super excited about that. I do have a design firm. I love impacting other people. That's other entrepreneur. I do a lot of speaking engagement, and hopefully you'll see me on TV.
What you mean? We've been seeing you on TV.
Hopefully more TV.
So just to let you guys know, Merline is working on some of my projects. So she's just everywhere. She is so great.
Yeah.
So we thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
To the New Haitian Generation show.
Thank you.
And I want to tell the viewers, you have been watching the New Haitian Generation, where my guest has been Merline Labissiere. Guys, go ahead and get ready to watch this. Watch the New Haitian Generation on Beacon TV and every other channel, every other platform that it will be on. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time with my other guests. All right, say bye, say bye, say bye, say bye, say bye.